What's up, goodies? Welcome back to my channel and to my kitchen, How to Cook. And today we are making Jamaican chicken soup in the kitchen, fast, easy and simple. Make sure to say subscribe, goodie, if you have not, and turn on the post notifications so you won't miss any other upload. And for all I'm returning goodie, una don't know say una girl love una ready for cook? Come on, let's cook. Alright, goodies, let's dive right on into the ingredients that we're going to use today to make this chicken soup, Jamaican chicken soup recipe, right? Alright, so let's talk about our chicken first. Now, right here I have some chicken legs and thighs. I did take the skin off the chicken and I did cut it up really small. Because that's what I wanted. I wanted my chicken to cut up small. I did wash it with salt, lemon juice, and vinegar. So you want to make sure that your chicken is well washed. Wash your chicken really nice, right? Now, the most important ingredients here are as follows. Now, goodie, I'm going to add some pumpkin. Now, I have some pumpkin here that is frozen. Whenever I buy pumpkin in the supermarket, because I don't want it to go bad based on how much I'm using, I just cut it up and I leave some of the skin on and take some of the skin off. And just cut it up and put it in a Ziploc bag and keep it in my refrigerator, and I have pumpkin forever, right? Now, I am going to be adding some carrots. I do have my scotch bonnet here. Now, to that though, I'm going to add some turnip. Alright, so I may use all of these turnip to the soup, or maybe two. And then I'm going to add my chocha. I'll probably use one of these. Chocha is so expensive, you guys. This two is already $2.59, okay? But I'm going to add one of that to the soup. We have some thyme here and scallion. Definitely need that. Alright, so I'm going to add some corn also. Probably need 2 corn here. And then I'm going to add some potatoes as well, okay? Now, to this soup today, I'm not going to add any yam or anything like that, but I am going to add some spinach to the recipe because you can't make soup without spinach dumpling in your soup, alright? So, this is our ingredient so far. There's more to come, but this is the main thing that you're going to need. So, without further ado, goodie, let's dive right into the recipe. Alright, goodie, let's season our chicken first. Alright, so I'm going to add just a little bit of salt, not too much because I'm going to add some salt later on to the pot. Alright, we're going to add some black pepper here. Alright, so to the salt and pepper, we're going to add some garlic powder. To the garlic powder, we're going to add some onion powder. Alright, to the onion powder, since as we're doing chicken, we're going to add some chicken seasoning. This is my chicken seasoning I'm using. Use whatever you have, alright? All-purpose seasoning if you don't have that. And then we're going to add some Maggi all-purpose seasoning because it's going to kick up my soup a whole notch, right? So that is it. Then I'm going to season my meat right here. You could add anything else if that's what you want to do, but this is the season of choice. We're going to set this aside and let it sit for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Alright, so in my pot I have some water that has come to a full boil, okay? You want to make sure that your water is like really bubbling, okay? Alright, so you want to add your chicken in to the boiling water. Alright, I'm going to add some garlic. I'm using minced garlic here. You could use fresh garlic if that's what you have. I'm going to add about 3 bay leaves in here, with about a teaspoon of pimento seeds or pimento berry, and cover this up and let it come to a boil. Alright, goodie, so now that our chicken has been boiling for, I say, about 10 minutes or so, I have my vegetables all ready. So I have my carrot here, my turnip, also have my pumpkin and my chocha, right? So you want to go ahead and add all the vegetables in right there. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing here is allowing the veggies to combine with the chicken flavor. So I'll say within the next 15 minutes or so, I'll come back. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the potatoes and the corn this scallion and thyme and taste it up and see if it need any more flavoring, which I'm pretty sure it might based on the water that we put in here, because remember we only seasoned the chicken, we didn't season the water. So we're going to definitely add some more flavors to this, but I'm going to cover this up though and let this cook for about 15 minutes, and then we come back and add everything else into the mix. But right here, so this looks good, really nice. All right, so 20 minutes, we'll be right back. All right, goodies, so now that I have everything going in my pot, we're going to go ahead and get this spinners ready. Now, in my container here, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, a half cup of cornmeal, totally optional. Now, you could add a little bit of salt to it. You could leave the salt out, but I'm going to substitute out the salt and add some Maggi all-purpose seasoning to it. It's going to give my spinners a whole lot of flavor, okay? So, you could, if you don't want to add the Maggi, you could add just about whatever you want to add, but I'm choosing to add Maggi all-purpose seasoning to mine. Make sure that you combine everything thoroughly together, well distributed throughout the flour, like so, and then you're going to add the water in. All right, y'all, so that is what you will have right there. You want to go ahead and get some plastic wrap and wrap it really well. The plastic wrap will keep the dough nice and soft while everything else is going, all right? So you don't want to leave this out and make it get tough. So the plastic wrap is going to keep it nice and soft. So yeah, that's it. We're going to move on to the next step here. All right, goodie. So it's been about 10 to 15 minutes. I'll say 15 minutes. So that is what we have. That looks really well. Perfect, right? Because you don't want it to boil out, right? You want to make sure that you're seeing your veggies. All right, so now that that is perfect, it's time to add our other vegetables to it. So this step is where you will put your yam and your whatever you want, pork or dashi, anything. I'm just using potatoes and corn, so I'm going to go ahead and add these in to the mix. All right, next is your flavored mix. So I'm going to use this Grace Cock flavored soup mix, and then I have the pumpkin flavored soup mix by Grace. You don't have to use these, but these are what I have, so that's what I'm using. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about, right? When I'm making soup such as this one or any other soup, I never strain mine off because I figure they put that in the bag for a reason, right? So I never strain them off. I just go ahead and put that in there. Listen, the more flavor, the better, right? Same thing with the pumpkin soup mix. I never strain it off. It looks pretty much like that in the package. And again, I just go ahead and pour them out in my soup. You could go ahead and strain off the noodle if that's what you want, but in a Juliana kitchen, she doesn't strain that off. I never grew up seeing my mother do it, and best believe I ain't gonna do it, okay? Now for me, I noticed that when I add that to it, it makes it thicken up the soup. It thickens up your soup, okay? You just want to make sure that it doesn't overcook, because then the noodle will stick at the bottom of the pot. Maybe that's why a lot of people don't use it, because your soup is overcooked. And if it's overcooked, those noodles will definitely stick in the bottom of the pot, right? You can't cook a soup and go too far from it. Stay close to your soup while it's cooking, okay? So we're going to give this about 10 minutes. Another 5 to 10 minutes, and I'm going to come back and add my spinners to the mix. All right, goodies. So now that that has been going, I'll say maybe about 10 minutes or so. That is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add the spinners in to the soup. Alright, goodies, so now that you've put your spinners in, you want to go ahead and give it a nice little mix. Now this is where you definitely want to taste your soup, okay? You're tasting your soup to adjust the flavor, because remember, the only thing that I added so far was the seasonings on the chicken and the noodle. Noodles are going to give it a nice little flavor, but you still want to go ahead and taste it to see if you need any salt or any more additional seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and taste it here. Alright, so mine need a little bit more salt, which is totally optional for you guys. So I'm going to add just a little bit of salt here. Maybe, I say maybe a little teaspoon or half a teaspoon right there. And then I'm going to go back and add some more of that Maggi all-purpose seasoning to the soup. It's like you just know when you have it right. You just know. It's a thing where you just know. Okay. Alright, so I did add just a little bit more seasoning. And then I'm going to go back and taste it again. Alright, coming along. But I still want to add just a little bit more to it. So basically, just adjust your soup the way that suits you. Okay? Just make sure say I do that. Alright, so that is looking perfect. Alright, so I want to go in and add scallion and thyme and scotch bonnet to the mix. Now when you add your scallion and thyme and your scotch bonnet to the mix, you don't want to do anything and interrupt that soup. Now based on your water, the soup, the liquid part, you want to maybe add some more, but not too much, because you don't want your soup to be too runny, and you definitely don't want your soup to be too thick either. Okay, this is perfect. Alright, so this should be done, I'll say within the next 20 minutes. This should be done. All the flavors will come together. Keep that on top like so, and just let it do its thing. Alright, so 20 minutes, I'll meet you back here.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so our soup is done. All done. Nicely bubbling. Just like me like it on this cold night. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Our soup is finished. Fast, easy, and simple, goodie. Nice little chicken soup in the kitchen right now. Look at that. Perfect. Yes, goodie, we are all done with our Jamaican chicken soup in the kitchen. Fast, easy, and simple. Make sure so you spread the love. Tell a friend for tell a friend. Bring them come goodie and send them come. Cause why? I'm waiting. And when you get done doing all of that, tell me where you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.